We accomplished so much in the last 30 years, starting from very humble beginnings. One employee, a handful of volunteers, a one-room office, to what we are today. Now that's incredible.
Some of you may not be old enough to remember the problems we had back in the 70s and 80s.
That led to the owners saying, what do we got to do to ensure that contractor employees are getting the right kind of training?
People forget sometimes before we had safety councils, what it was like.
Fortunately, the workforce in that industry realized, you know what, we need to do a little bit more than just be on the reactive side of these things.
The only way they were going to improve safety performance is we've got to share what we're doing.
Because when I think of humble beginnings, I automatically think of Luis.
You know, like with Luis, they started in a garage.
Going from that garage, we located a strip center. You know, with the big dream, I was looking at that parking lot full of cars in my mind.
The organization started with the help of volunteers. The safety professional people would come in and do the training until they started generating some money and hiring people.
We had one class. We taught HAZCOM, so hazard awareness, from one class with one instructor and 5 employees.
And now, look where you are today.
From CBT, baseline training, to how much advanced training we have now.
As a matter of fact, when I hired in April, they searched their database and they found a picture of me when I first came here. I kept looking for a little rinky-dink place, hole in the wall, you know, where I was going to interview, and I thought I had passed it up until I came to this place.
And I think through the last 30 years, we've worked really hard to make sure we were constantly at the forefront of the needs of industry.
We have kiosks, just like at the airports when you first walk in. We're doing barcode scanning to check people in and out of class. We're doing testing and tablets in the classrooms. We've just come so far.
And so I think we have invested quite a bit from an IT perspective, but also from a learning and adult education perspective.
You don't get to 30 years without being good at what you're doing.
Of the culture of the Safety Council, you get the appearance of a young company that's wanting to continue to get bigger and better all the time.
Throughout these 30 years, the message hasn't changed. The buildings may have changed, but it's still the same message. It's still about the people.